reason why I'm not playing this game, and I know a bunch of other people are not playing this game, is because we know that it's not worth it to get bullied endlessly and called transphobic endlessly in when we have massive queer communities and audiences. That's it. Everybody knows how much leftist motherfuckers love to chirp on the internet. They got no power. All they do is chirp, chirp, chirp. And that's precisely why so many people that would otherwise like play it, maybe even raise money for charities or whatever, they're not doing it.
I will admit I was out of the loop of what was happening with J.K. Rowling and the whole Harry Potter community, and honestly, I haven't really heard much about Harry Potter since I've watched Harry Potter, which was a long time ago. So, hearing that it was trending again, I was wondering what the heck was going on. And then I see there's a game that came out called Hogwarts Legacy. I've been so busy, so I've been avoiding video games because addiction issues. But when I looked at the reason people were outraged about it, it wasn't because of the game necessarily, because everyone loves the game, which actually got me more interested. Ironically, the people who are apparently trying to boycott the game have inadvertently caused more attention to come to the game, which is, as a result, consequently bringing in more people. So I know that they're boycotting the game because of J.K. Rowling. Why are they boycotting the game? Because of J.K. Rowling. She is the author of the Harry Potter series. A lot of her own fans are boycotting it. Apparently, it's because of a tweet she posted in 2020, where she makes a comment based on something, an article or something that was talking about people who menstruate. And she puts it in quotations and leaves a snarky quip saying, "I'm sure there used to be a word for those people. Someone help me out." And then she says some other words in a joking manner. And honestly, from all of this, I don't really understand what the outrage is, because people who are trans women don't. And I'm not trying to be mean to anyone, but there's a reason why trans women are called trans women. You weren't born a woman, so you made the necessary changes in your life in order to fit that gender. Some people have gotten the surgery to do it. Some people just express themselves that way. And all of that's completely fine. However, me, as someone who has studied science and biology, one of my favorite subjects, people who menstruate are women, so I don't really understand what's going on. I've been out of the loop with this. I didn't really realize why there is a whole hubbub about this entire situation. Why would it be offensive to say that women are people, or biological women are people that menstruate? We are. At this very moment, I am having some wicked cramps because my cycle is, that part of my cycle is on its way. And it's even, I know, TMI, but way more painful because I have an IUD in. And I remember talking to one of my friends, it was a while back, and they're trans. I knew him as a he when we met, and I thought he was gay. Then, now he's trans, so he's a she. But we were joking around, and it was around the time I think I had my cycle, and I was like, "You're lucky you don't have to go through that, blah, blah, blah." And she was like, "Girl, I don't envy you. That's what you get. I hope it hurts extra something another." I don't know. I don't remember the exact phrasing. We were joking around. There was no malicious intent. She wasn't being mean, But she, even as a trans person, was like, "Yeah, I don't have to deal with that. I have to deal with other things, but don't have to deal with that. I am so glad. Last thing I need is blood pouring out of my freaking snatch," which, it already kind of did I don't want to get into too much of that. Anyway, other trans people have also come out, which is funny because those people are getting buried, or those people are not getting acknowledged because I guess their voices don't matter, that do say, yes, this is something that happens to biological women or non-trans women. It's really not that big of a deal to get triggered over. I don't understand. Now, this tweet might not be the thing that people are that upset about, but then it might be. I don't know. People nowadays get really angry over things that don't require any anger towards, and I'm just so confused. I still am very much culturally minded towards my country that I was born in, so even though I haven't been back in a long time, I grew up with the foundation of the values of that country, and even though we were very tolerant there, we were also based in realism with a lot of things, and I just think it's very unhealthy for people to go to this level of outrage over something that is scientifically based in fact. It's not a matter of trying to hurt them. Now, if you're using it as a way to kind of insult people, not like me and my friend were doing because we were joking around. She's not that thin-skinned that if I poke a joke at her, she's gonna her whole life is gonna become undone because I said something to make fun of her. And she says things to make fun of me, but we do it because we're friends. We've known each other since freaking high school. But even if someone was trying to make it a joke, like this person came out and replied to J.K. Rowling saying, "Why do you do this?" And then J.K. Rowling replied, okay, I'm sorry, that's kind of funny. It's not supposed to be funny, but it's kind of funny because she's basically saying, same reason you do, I guess. And the person put, Wonder Woman works in a museum. I work in a museum. I am Wonder Woman. Pretty sure that was supposed to be a joke, or not. I don't know. But your whole life shouldn't become undone because someone was snarky about something that you're supposed to feel confident in. If you've changed your body, if you decided or you feel as though you identify as something, the last thing that you should do is to make it more hard, more difficult for people to tolerate you. It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense that people will attack people that they want approval for. Why does it matter if you get approval from people? If you're trans, be proud, be happy. I mean, yeah, it must be very difficult. A lot of people struggle with body dysmorphia, and that's not an easy thing, I can imagine. I don't know what that's like. Okay, maybe when I gain a few pounds on my ass or something, then I'm like, ugh. But I don't think it's anything compared to not feeling like yourself. And even though we've all experienced that to some degree through bullying, through moving to a different country, or being around people of a different ethnicity, and you're the only one that doesn't look like them and they make fun of you for it, there are different levels to it. And living your whole life and having to hide who you are must be very debilitating. But most of us don't have to do that anymore. What happens as a result, though, is you will get some people of differing opinions. You will get some people who don't agree or who don't understand certain things that you may choose to do to better express your life or to ameliorate your situation to make you feel more comfortable. But it is so inadvisable to go on the complete offense and wish harm against people or bully or wish horrible threats against them simply because they disagree with you or because they were snarky. You see the cause and effect, like certain things just don't match. And if someone says something snarky to you or don't agree with something that you say, and your main thing is to cancel that person, ruin their life, or send specific threats towards them, you are a fucking sociopath. I am sorry. That is not normal, well-functioning mental behavior. That is criminal behavior, actually. Anyway, getting to the whole thing with Hogwarts. So this game is supposedly based on the Harry Potter universe, and that's fair enough, but then you have people like the clip I played in the beginning with Hassan, this dude who is really back and forth seesawy of a person if I ever did see one. He is trying to get his money up. It's very clear that he is catering to his fan base, but he's even afraid to play it even though he wants to because he's afraid that people are going to get mad at him. And if you want to boycott a game, like I always tell people, the best way you can show your disapproval of something is to not support it. You don't have to watch it, block it. You don't need to watch it. There's people who don't like me, and I tell them, block me. Block me. You talking about it more is giving me more awareness, which is what's happening with this game, which is why it's trending so heavily for a few days. Also, I don't understand what people are trying to achieve by also shaming others into not playing the game if they want to play the game. First of all, J.K. Rowling did not make the game. I'm pretty sure she gets some royalty from it, but please consider that all the developers and people who have probably worked on this game might very likely include the queer community. There might be trans people who worked on this game, gay people, minorities, people who need their job, and you boycotting it because it's based on the work that an author made that's not even the main person behind this game. And it's a disservice to those who you claim to stand for. A flawed strategy that ends up causing harm to the marginalized groups you purport to support. This type of behavior is also highly immature and very ineffective because all it's managed to do is to get more eyes on it and get more people playing it, which is not a bad thing because those marginalized groups that have worked on the game are getting paid and are getting their come up. I don't think people think about it. I think it's a very weird situation and a weird time we're in now where people just want to be outraged for the sake of being outraged. If you want to protest for certain rights, this is definitely not the way to go about it. And it's also not helping to shine an immaculate light on the community. It is just making people think that the community is warped, sociopathic, aggressive, hostile, and unwell. It is a gross misrepresentation of what the trans community actually stands for. And the thing is, we don't hear a lot of the trans community talking about it because the ones that are most vocal about it are the crazy people wishing death on people. It's really, really sad. I don't think people enjoying a game or wanting to stream a game has any bearing on how you feel about who you are unless you don't believe that you have the right to feel confident in being trans or that you have the right to be trans. Coercing someone to think like you and vilifying them if they don't is not going to make them agree with you. It is actually going to accomplish the complete opposite and hurt everybody else who stands by your side along in the process. I personally am not playing this game right now because honestly, I just have too much to do, but my intrigue has been rising as a result of people constantly talking about it and praising the game for how decent it is. Hopefully we can do better as a society, because at this moment, for what I'm seeing, it's actually regressing. As a matter of fact, the regression has reached a dangerous level, and I honestly worry that the unhinged individuals may ultimately undo societal progress and everything we've worked so hard to achieve and bring about the very dark ages that they seek to avoid.